Okay, this time we're taking a look at the Blokees G1 Megatron Action Edition, and I want to say right off the bat, this thing is really damn good, but it's not as great as the Soundwave, and that's mostly because there's different engineering decisions that were done here which kind of take away from its greatness, which I guess makes sense because, you know, it was made later, the Soundwave was made later, and then this guy was like the second one, so maybe they learned a lot engineering-wise with what they should do, but I like the box on this thing. I just wish they weren't so damn big, but like, you can see him with his gun, you can see him with the big-ass chair, you can see his bird, you can see his cool sword, and you can see that it comes with a whole bunch of stuff. It comes with faces, it comes with like a little extra like play accessories, it comes with a big-ass chair, and yeah, like this thing is super cool. There's a lot of different colored parts here, so there's a lot of blacks that are used for like his outer frame for his legs and for his weapons and stuff, and then the reds are for like the thighs that kind of replicate like the G1 toy. There's like gray pieces that are more for the inner frame of his body, kind of like building a real grade or master grade, and then the metallic silver parts are for the outer frame of his body. There's the chair, it's like three different like big ass purple pieces, and then that's for his gun and for his other stuff. And then this one, yeah, that's for the legs. Like, it's really well organized, all things considered. Oh, and then here's the mace, and then like some red parts, I think, for his face and for his body, I think, because there's different parts on his, you know, torso. And then here's the other part of the chair, and then the other part of the chair again. I forgot how many parts there were. And then here's the Decepticon logo, which is a different piece, surprisingly, and then like the chest thing, and then here's instructions on how to swap out the batteries. In case you really need to swap out the batteries, I think you need a screw or something to take them out, but it's not really that big of a deal. It might not run out by the time you, by the time it needs to be replaced. Yeah, so then here's the manual. I still think it's weird that the manuals are laminated like on the front and back sides, but then like the actual paper inside is like literal paper. Kind of like construction paper, and then and then the faces. It's fairly easy to build his face. It's just I'll bring it up. I'll show you later, but like swapping out the faces is a nightmare. And then the torso. There's no double hinge system. I guess they tried to stay pretty faithful to how he's designed in most toys and other things, where his torso, his lower waist is kind of just a swivel, and then his upper body is kind of just like an ab crunch. But I don't know. I feel like you should take some creative liberties with that. And I really like how they constructed the body. It's pretty similar to how they did it with Soundwave, but it's not that difficult. Like, it was a little weird because I hate that Blokees makes it so that you build the right arm first and then the left arm, but then for the leg, it's not in the same order, so you end up building the left leg and then the right leg. And it's like, wait, what? That's a little confusing. But yeah, I like all these little panels and everything and how all the pieces kind of work together. I really wish that it could have been a little bit less time consuming, just because I feel like some of this detail's a little unnecessary. Like, do you really need all this like inside detail when you're just gonna like cover it all? But whatever. And then here's like the gun. It's not that hard to build this thing. It's not really a pain in the ass. The sword was pretty easy. I just think it's funny they included all these things even though they only appear in the movie, I think. And then of course his ion blaster. Oh, and I mean the fusion cannon. Oh my fucking god, I'm sorry. There's his fusion cannon. And then you can see his laser beak, which is weird because Soundwave also has one, so I don't know why you need two of them, but whatever. And it's a little bit different. And then here's Kremzeek, his little imp electric thing, and then he has a fancy camera because I think he's a pervert or something. And then he has a cool chair, and then swapping out the face. Like, you see how easy it looks there on the manual? It is not that easy. Trust me, it is not. But yeah, that's pretty much all the instructions for Megatron. I think it's going to be a pretty good build, and let's check it out. Alright, now Megatron's finally finished. I think he looks fucking awesome with the giant chair and the big chonky legs and the more, like, bulky proportions that Blokees usually has on their figures. You can see the fusion cannon there looking really cool. I think this thing looks amazing. Like, the silvery, like, gunmetal sort of color that the silver parts are, like, casted in are really nice. Like, yeah, painted could look a bit better, and if there was panel lining and everything, it would, like, really bring it to life. But I think just on its own, it looks great. But it doesn't only look great. You can see that the head can move really well. It's on a ball peg on the bottom, and the head is on a double ball peg. Really great range of motion, despite the fact that he has a big body like that. You can hinge his shoulders like this. It's not as perfect as like the YOLO Park, but I think it's really good. And the forearms can also, the bicep can also swing out a little bit. He has full rotation. He has a good elbow bend, but you might want to slip the joint down a little bit just to really give him more than 90 degrees. Like, you have to really like force the top part of the elbow joint and then the bottom, and then you get this, which still looks pretty good, but again, not as good as the YOLO Park. But and then you can rotate his arm all the way, obviously. You can't really bring his arms across the chest, which sucks compared to the YOLO Park, but I don't know, I really like it anyway. You can still, it's not really like a two-handed sword pose, unfortunately, but it's still really good. His man boobs are too big, that's why, so you can't really get much out of that. But, you know, there's plenty of range. If you take the head out, you actually get more. His torso, he can move back a little bit and then lean forward a bit, but not too much, just because he's limited, and then his waist is just a simple swivel. His legs, the skirts are a bit annoying, you have to move them around. He can kick almost all the way to the side perfectly, which is great. And then he can kick forward almost perfectly 90 degrees, but unlike Soundwave, he doesn't have a drop down, so it doesn't allow him to kick perfectly. But he can kick all the way back, and he has a really good, like, deep knee bend, despite the big chonky legs. And then he has a really big ankle rocker, which I think is really great. He even has a toe hinge. For whatever reason, these panels can move. I don't understand the purpose of this, but they just kind of like slip out whenever you try to open them. So I don't really think it's worth it. Like, look at this. Like, that's it. Like, what's the point of this being there? Anyways, now the head, swapping out the faces is a pain in the fucking ass. So you have to take the top part of his head off, then it reveals his, like, the inside of his face, and then you have to pretty much use a tool to slip, like, to take the pieces out every time. And by the time you're done doing that, that's not even like the hard part. The hard part is getting this stupid thing off. If you want to get the face off, you have to like pry it off. You need some fucking tools, or you need like really strong like fingers or fingernails or like a fucking toothpick to get this out. Like, why is the grip on it like gorilla grip? Like, oh my god. And you can see the inside of his face, and then, oh, guess what? Putting it back on is also difficult, which is a fucking pain in the ass. This is the worst part of the entire kit. Like, the way, like, the difficulty of putting the face on and off, like, just swapping it. Like, why is it such a pain? Something that, it could have just been, like, a simple, like, you connect it to the top of the head, and then the head, like, swaps it out or something, like I've seen on the Masterpiece, but no. This is a huge pain in the ass for no reason, and it should not be that difficult. And then his fingers can move. I didn't mention that earlier, but his fingers can move individually, just like Soundwave. Each individual digit on the finger can move, which I think is nice, so you can kind of manipulate them in whatever way you want. You can actually hold stuff like that he's not meant to hold, like the camera, and I think that's pretty cool. So the middle and end and beginning parts of each finger can move. And his thumb, I think, only has like 2 points of movement there. His gun can be put right on his arm because there's a rounded peg there that fits right in, and you can rotate it for some reason, even though I don't think he ever needs to do that. I'm not sure why that's there, but yeah, that's pretty nice. And then to use his mace, you just plug in, you take the hand out, and then you plug it into the ball socket, and then there you go. Pretty simple and easy to do. I don't understand why some companies just can't do stuff like this. And it's pretty accurate to the show. And then look at this. All of these little parts are hinged, which I think is great, because that means you can make it as dynamic as you want. I just kind of wish it could go the other way, so that you can get like a full, like, see, you can only do like a little bit, but if you get like a full like back and forth motion, then you could really do some crazy like Castlevania type like whipping or like Gundam ball and chain, Gundam hammer type poses. And then there's a little ridge right there. You see that little like tab? You put that, use that, and then you put the gun in there. And same thing for the sword. So the sword right now goes in, and it fits pretty well in the hand. And unlike the gun, this one is actually easy to take out once you feel like removing it. But yeah, I like this thing. It's super easy. You can actually take the lightsaber part out. I don't know why you would need to, but it's pretty easy to put Megatron in like sword slashing poses. And then the gun, this one's pain because it has that little extra part in front of the handle, so you have to bend the fingers first, which is annoying, and then you can fit it into the tab. But the grip on this thing is ridiculous. Like, why is it so hard to remove the gun from the hand? But I just think it's funny that they gave him a gun, the gun that kills Optimus Prime. Like, for a guy who said he would kill Optimus with his bare hands, you'd think we wouldn't have used so many weapons. Like, but okay, I think that's pretty funny. That's the sound it makes right there. And he gets this awesome throne, which I think is super cool. And then you can just sit him on it, and he can just chill there. And I guess put some sexy fembots on him or something. Really make him look like he's the leader. The other cool thing about the chair is that, one, it's fucking huge as hell for no reason, and it's also very easy to store things in it, which I think is pretty nice. It has a part in the back that connects to the front of the chair, and then you can just take the stuff, you can take that off, and then bam, you can just put all the stuff in there. And what kind of things you can put in there? You can put Kremzik, which is a little gremlin dude. I think he looks kind of cool. And you can put his extra faces, like his stern, serious face, or his yelling, angry face, because he can kill Prime or something. And then his like smug ass fucking Megatron face. I love that one. That one's good. And then it comes with Laserbeak. I think it's weird that it's slightly different from the Soundwave version, but it functions the same way. It has like a swappable leg peg you can put on his arm. And he comes with a camera because I swear Megatron is a huge pervert, so you can take some suspicious photos if you want to. Use your imagination with this accessory. And he comes with a stand, which I assembled correctly this time, unlike the Soundwave one. But yeah, you can make him do some dynamic poses. You can jump around and do stuff. I think that's really cool. They always should come with stands. His knee bends are really good, but not as super subtle as like Soundwave because of the lack of ab crunch. He can still pose really well, stand on one foot. Like, he can do a really high kick, which I think is great. And of course he has a beautiful spread. Look at his legs. He can split perfectly, front and back too. Like, that's pretty nice. But of course his legs make it hard for him to lay down all the way. But because of the ab crunch and lack of drop down hips, he can't really like touch his toes. But I guess he doesn't need to because he has all these cool weapons that you can put him in dynamic poses with anyway. Like his badass mace, which I think is super cool. Reminds me of the Gundam hammer. And then his like lightsaber. Again, he said he would kill Prime with his bare hands, but he used a whole bunch of weapons. Like, he used like 3 weapons in that fucking fight, I think. Oh, and then, like, yeah, see, he looks really cool with the gun. I think that's pretty sick. Yeah, see, and then right here with the Optimus Prime killing gun, I think, like, you can have so much fun with this guy. And then he's pretty huge, though, like, obviously a little bit bigger than a Master Grade and a High Grade. He's about the same size as this Windblade figure I have, the Bingo Toys Wind Girl. And then next to a Yellow Park, Megatron and Optimus Prime, he's kind of short. So I'm not sure which is more G1 accurate, but I kind of prefer the Blokees design more. And then, oh, of course, here's him next to Soundwave, and he looks really good next to him. And I think he's another great addition to the Blokees line. And I really need to get Optimus Prime, although I heard he doesn't have articulated fingers. And that other new one that came out recently, I want to get that one, and I really hope they make more G1 type characters, but I need Chrome Dome, please. Anyway, that's pretty much it. Oh, and Grimlock, make Grimlock too. But yeah, that's pretty much it. See ya.